This is the secret to succeeding over tons of other people trying to do the same thing as you. If you want to start a YouTube channel, if you want to do print on demand, if you want to do drop shipping, any of these things that is often talked about online, but you've been deterred because you think every single person is trying to do the same thing, there is still a way for you to come out on top, and this is it. You need to outlast. And you might hear that and be like, okay, of course, duh, I'm leaving this video, but let me explain, and I promise, if you don't want to stick with something after this, then unsubscribe. Most people do not succeed at any side hustle or at any business because they give up way too early. They give up in what I call the suck zone. People expect their business to be growing in a linear fashion, but they never account for the suck zone. The suck zone is the beginning. You can learn as much as you want on YouTube. You can learn as much as you want through courses, but you will never, ever, ever get better until you suck at it for a long time first. When I first started my print-on-demand store, something everyone told me was way too oversaturated and impossible to be successful with because everybody was doing it. I still prevailed on, and I'm in a top 1% Etsy seller compared to all of the others who probably started before me. When I look back at my first Etsy listings, they are horrible. Absolutely horrible. But at the time, I thought they were fantastic. I couldn't see why I was not making millions with my 10 listings. Yet, every single time I put a new listing up, my SEO got a little bit better. My designs got a little bit better. I started finding out what was working and started tailoring what I was doing more towards that. Every time you do something, you get a little bit better at it. If you're into investing, you are probably pretty familiar with compounding interest. And that is if your money grows by 15% a year. At first, that's not going to mean much. But in the long run, that $15 at a compounding rate is going to skyrocket. And that is the same thing with growing a business. Because at the beginning here, you might not see yourself getting better. Even though you are slightly getting better, you're not seeing the massive takeoff right away. That's going to come later. You may have seen this on the internet before. When I was talking, it reminded me of this image of the person who gives up right before they kick off. Because it could take 6 months to hit that one thing that really transforms your success versus the person who keeps plugging and plugging away with the belief that this is going to eventually pay off. They are going to hit the diamonds. Both unfortunately and I guess kind of fortunately, people really believe that they deserve to make the money right away. But that's how we can set ourselves apart. If everyone is giving up because they realize they can't make money in the first month, by you just having the capability to hold on longer and consistently, you can really be successful at anything you do. And this might be extremely hard in practice. Before I had my first break with print on demand, I wasn't sure I believed this at all. I had tried drop shipping. I gave up within a month. Both stores, every time I tried that, with even print on demand, after 3 months of getting maybe just a little bit of profit, I wasn't sure this was going to work out for me until it did, because I kept working on my store. I was driven by this belief that I needed to work for myself, which was the ability to push on even when I was spending 20 hours on my store and not making much profit at all. But through experiencing this just once, it has really helped me with any business moving forward. With my YouTube channel, it has taken me about 6 months to get monetized. I'm still at just probably the beginning turn. If you take a look at my stats, they're just starting to curve upwards towards that compounding interest. But those 6 months, I don't think I would have carried on if I had not experienced this before and seen the capabilities and the possibilities of when you just keep moving forward and subtly improving every single time. Even if you don't think you're improving, you are. Here's a graph in the book, Atomic Habits, that represents this perfectly. What we think is going to happen is with starting a business, we think we are linearly going to grow. We think it all just works out by the amount of effort we put in, but that's not true. You can see this valley of disappointment right here. And this is exactly when everyone gives up, because it is not easy to continue when you are not seeing results. So people give up. They comment on people's TikTok saying it doesn't work because they gave up so fast that they missed the upturn. And in fact, this actually pays off better than working linearly. Number one, you just had all your competitors drop out. And two, the compounding of both you learning and your store gaining momentum, or any business that you have gaining momentum. You get some reviews, you get some repeat clients, and then you skyrocket to places you never even thought possible. So to succeed at any business, you have to be more persistent, more consistent than anyone else out there. And that's going to suck, but that's the only reason you are going to be able to succeed, because now all your competition is just dropped off. They're not doing the one thing that you are, which is continually improving. My recommendation is embrace the suck when you first start. It is a learning experience. Don't expect any monetary payoff at all from the beginning. If it pays off, awesome. That's great. Good for you. But the long runs are going to come over slowly 1% better increases to every single thing that you do. And because you're going to be working on this for quite a while, make sure that you are coming up with habits or routines towards working towards this business that you can see are sustainable for a few months, or probably even longer, because once you become successful, you're not stopping. So don't be working 6 hours a day on top of your 9 to 5 because you know you're just going to burn out and give up. Slowly get better. Slowly accept getting better and adding to your store and improving, and do it in bite-sized chunks that aren't going to send you into a mental spiral. For my Etsy stores, I spend about 2 hours a day working on that store, and I took days off when I needed to. For my YouTube, I am putting out 2 videos a day, so I spend maybe about 10 hours a day filming, and then now I outsource the editing just so I can speed up the process. But I am not trying to get up 7 videos a week, because that is not sustainable for me. I would hate YouTube and I would give up, and I will never see the benefits if I do that. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening to my rant today, and I hope it is inspiring for you. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you next week.